The Mario Kart 8 Deluxe plus Mario Kart Tour era is officially over. The new Mario Kart game, whatever you want to call it at this point, is just around the corner. Each Mario Kart game has introduced something new to the franchise. For example, Mario Kart 7 introduced gliding, Mario Kart Wii introduced half-pipes, and Mario Kart Tour introduced lap changing. That begs the question, what feature will the next game introduce? What will make it stand out? There are honestly so many things they can do. The most common idea I've seen so far is the Wonder effect from Super Mario Bros. Wonder. I will be going over that theory later in the video, but first of all, I want to talk about other gimmicks that I think are more likely to happen. Settle down and enjoy. The first gimmick idea I have in mind is power-ups. And no, I'm not talking about stuff you get from the item boxes. I'm talking about power-ups that are available to you on the map itself. With the use of power-ups, you can get yourself ahead of the race or put others behind in order for you to succeed without having to rely on the item roulette. In some cases, they would be granted to everyone because they would be essential for progressing through the map. In other cases, they can even be traps to play mind games with the player. Let me explain. Think of the winged cloud from the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe BCP track, Yoshi's Island. Upon touching that, a bridge path, which is essentially faster than the normal path, appears to help the player get ahead of other racers. My idea is pretty much similar to that function. Now, imagine if there is a cloud map with the option to use the Cloud Flower power-up to access a secret shortcut that you have to bounce across carefully, a Bowser's Castle map where you have to avoid poison mushrooms in order to not get harmed, or even a kitchen map where you have to use the dash pepper to speed all the way across the ground. And Nintendo, I am begging you for a kitchen map in the next game. If there is no kitchen map, there will be no purchase from Pengu. Just kidding, but please? Anyways, I do think that there should be one unique power-up for every single map, but it shouldn't be a forced use for all of them because I know people won't want them in every single map. That's why I suggested some as simply shortcuts or just normal stage hazards. Either way, it would give each map a good amount of distinction with the gimmick. Power-ups would certainly be a game changer. Before I proceed, I definitely suggest hitting that sweet subscribe button because more Mario Kart X videos are on the horizon. I also want to thank you all for the success of my Mario Kart X Retros video. I deeply appreciate it and it has given me so much motivation to continue. Anyways, my second gimmick idea in mind is teleportation. That's right, vanishing from one spot in your race to another in just the blink of an eye. I'm suggesting that in some of the maps, pairs of portals are set up to truly change the dynamics of Mario Kart. Let me explain. One portal is somewhere on the map, and upon entering that portal, you end up teleporting to the corresponding other portal on the map and continuing your race from there. It's very self-explanatory. I do think it would be really cool because imagine what they could do. Maps would no longer have to loop back to the starting line if a portal can simply take you back from a long distance. You could also enter a haunted house through a portal. It's less of a game changer, but more of an entertainment provider. I'm thinking that all maps have a main pair of portals set up somewhere. One thing I do want to mention is that portals can most certainly replace some gliding sections in retro courses and stuff. I know some people might be thinking portals might make both the nitro and retro maps feel shorter, but I see this as an opportunity for them to construct maps to be way bigger by default. These portals can allow you to travel a long distance, so it would be really cool to see. I do think that portals will appear in every nitro course at least, but they won't be mandatory in all of them. In some cases, they can simply be used for accessing any paths with separate benefits. They can also be used as traps to really sabotage the player. Fun fact, teleportation was actually a feature in the arcade Mario Kart games in some maps, which I didn't even know about until after I gained this idea, so that makes it even more likely now. Anyways, I'm sure that you've all been waiting for this particular gimmick idea, the Wonder Flower. The Wonder Flower is an object that was recently introduced as the main gimmick of Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Upon using the item, the level you are in faces a Wonder effect. This Wonder effect can literally be anything. But how would this work in Mario Kart? A lot of people suggested that the Wonder Flower should be the main gimmick of the game and that each map should have a unique effect. But I personally think that it's a very risky idea to do it for every map. I love this idea, don't get me wrong, but combined with the pressure of racing other players, a Wonder effect would just be an unbearable amount of chaos and will prevent you from ever having a smooth race, especially on every single map. I do think it will appear in one map, however. It could very well be a Super Mario Bros. Wonder themed map. The Wonder Flower would be in a set location similar to the Winged Cloud in Yoshi's Island. As for the effect, I'm thinking that there will just be a bombardment of enemies on the map and even floating around. It's basically like the power-up idea all over again, but with an extra twist. So yeah, that is pretty much all I have for this video. There is honestly an endless number of possibilities of what gimmicks the next game could introduce. Thank you so much for viewing and see you next time. Peace out!